Sir Isaac Newton was born on January 4th, 1643, in England. Through a troublesome childhood where he had to be reunited with his mother at the age of 12, Newton arrived at Trinity College at the age of 19 during the scientific revolution of the 17th century. During his first 3 years at Trinity, he spent it fascinating about advanced science. Newton theorized that white light was a composite of all colors on the spectrum, and that light was composed of particles. He tested this by shining a light through a prism. The results were pretty fantastical. These also led him to the conclusion that the lens of any refracting telescope would suffer from chromatic aberration. He then constructed a telescope using a mirror to bypass that problem. This was Newton's first major public scientific achievement. Afterwards, Newton returned home to Trinity College. Legend says that at this time, Newton experienced the famous falling apple incident. There is still no evidence that the apple actually hit Newton on the head. He did see an apple fall from the tree though, leading him to wonder why it fell straight down and not at an angle, causing him to begin exploring the theories of motion and gravity. Newton wrote Principia. It is said to be the single most influential book on all physics and possibly all of science. Its publication immediately raised Newton to an international prominence. Principia included the 3 basic but important laws of motion. An object at rest will stay at rest unless an external force is applied to it. Force is equal to mass times acceleration, and for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. These laws explain nearly every motion in the universe. They also allowed him to calculate the mass of each planet, the bulge at the equator, and the Earth's tides. By this time, Newton was now an old man. He had become one of the most famous men in Europe. His scientific discoveries were unchallenged. When he reached 80 years of age, Newton started experiencing digestion problems and had to drastically change his diet and mobility. In March of 1727, Newton experienced severe pain in his stomach and blacked out, never to regain consciousness again. He died that next day, on March 31st, 1727, at the age of 84. What a legend.